So, it's been a hot minute since I've done this. So, what lies before you is a game called Cosmoteer that I really enjoy. Probably going to be playing it for a while to get this channel off the ground, but let me give you the rundown of how this wonderful little game works. So, you basically build ships and you fight them to the death, and you use the different crew components to place down little modules like that. Pretty much infinite possibilities that you can do with this sort of system. So I could add a control room, some crew, power, weapons, and thrusters. That's a tiny little ship right there. And now I have a small little ship, but it looks pretty weak right now, so I'm gonna add some armor to it. Like so. Oops. No, don't. No. Power. Where'd you go? And now you have what looks to be the world's weirdest looking fighter. And as you can see, you can right click to move your little ship around. That is, if you have a control room and thrusters. And yeah, it's basically how you play the game. Now you can make a whole plethora of ships with this sort of thing, so I can make stuff from this to, here, let me pull one up that I've already made. Something like this, which is just basically a giant death cube that's gonna lag the fuck out of my game because I don't have a good GPU. Support the Rigel needs a graphics card fund, but you might be wondering, I want to fight these little things. Well, good news for you, you can. So, yeah. You can grab a little ship like this right here. You can plonk it down wherever you want. When you select it in, you can hold down left click to rotate it wherever you want. You can also hold down left click to select multiple things at a time. So, if you want to move things around easily like that, you don't have to do it individually. So there are different allegiances that you can have, up to 8 players. So the way you make ships you fight each other is that you have 2 different players in once, and look, that guy's already fighting. So if you're playing on a different team and there's a dude trying to wreck your stuff, you can grab one of your ships, right click the enemy ship and target it to go and kill it. And as you can see, those little ships killed it dead because these are pretty good ships that I've made. Maybe because of the absolutely wicked amount of thrusters I put on there. Oh my god, that's like too many. So you can always just hit delete if you want to remove some ships. And yeah, that's basically how you play Cosmoteer. So let's build some crazy ships. So first thing that you're going to want to do, as always, place down that control room. Now, crew is very important because if you don't have enough of it, you're not going to be able to power and feed all the ship systems. So what I like to do is just hit mirror on both there. It's this thing down here, you can press it and it'll mirror it like that. And just add a bunch of quarters in there. Just a shitload. Like so. Now you have a big cube around it. Now you're gonna need some power. Reactors explode violently too if you're not careful, so watch out for it. It's always wise to place some armor around these, like so. And then corridors right here, you just can hit Z, but I just like to click on things. Doors are also important too, you gotta have them. So just place them in like that, and then you've got yourself a nifty little ship right there. Now add some corridors out, and then weapons, you can have all of these little things. The railguns are fun to mess around with, but I'll show you that later. So, laser blasters are pretty simple. They're pretty modest weapons. They do a little bit of damage, like decent, and they have a good fire rate too. And if you have a whole bunch of them like this, they can absolutely destroy. Shield generators are also very important too. You can plonk those down. A good technique that I sometimes like to do is remove the doors on things so everything's localized, and add reactors to them so every little thing gets renewed faster, as such. Just like that. So now those shields will recharge 10 times faster. I went on a building mode because I am stupid. And then, when you're all done, just fill in all the empty spaces with armor. And then you have yourself what should be, if you designed it well enough, a pretty modest ship. I just realized I forgot to put thrusters on there. So, let's take care of that real quick. Engine rooms are good for having large thrusters because it increases the power of them by 75%. Wow. So, you gotta have thrusters in order to move. They're pretty self-explanatory. They thrust like your mom or dad on a Friday night. And then, now what you should have is a pretty good ship. And would you look at that, it works. I said, it works. Bitch, what the hell are you doing? Hurry up. I gave you corridors for this specific reason and you're not using them. Stupid. There we go. Now, engine placement is always pretty easy. You just kind of stick them wherever. But it's always good to smartly place them, because the enemy can shoot them down real easy. So this actually looks like it could do something. So I am going to put it against the Vanguard. So, as I stated before, you just kinda tell which player they are, and then you just watch as the chaos ensues. See, those are the railguns. We'll have some fun with them later. And it's always fun to just watch as they slowly tear apart what you thought was a pretty good ship. Then you realized it was pretty bad. This thing is absolutely destroying because I built it that way. Who knew? You build good ships in this game. Wow. So that was too easy of a fight for this beast of a ship. Let's make it better. Let's make these fights more interesting. You can leave. I have tons of great ships to offer in here. As such, the Fortress Defense Platform. Now this thing's gonna get absolutely melted, because lasers are always a good bet when it melts straight through your ship. And as you can see, that thing just got absolutely destroyed. Get riggedy wrecked, son. As you can see, it absolutely melted through that thing because I made it that way. Who knew? A tiny ship will just fare even worse. Pro tip, if the game isn't running that good, you can always just turn down the game speed a little bit so you can have better performance. It's always useful too because I don't have a very powerful computer and all my games tend to lag a lot. And if you're ship testing, pro tip again, just make it player 2 instead of all the ships that you're placing down and repeatedly destroying because you hate your life. Player 2 instead. I don't know why, but I made this ship look like a mime. The mime has been defeated. So, yeah, as you can see, the ship's pretty damn powerful. But what this is an unfinished recording. Yeah, I know, kind of sucks. I don't know. OBS kind of shat itself at like the 12-minute mark. I don't know why, but I'll see what I can do in future videos. So, I know, kind of an abrupt